right, Jeff, just wanted to ask you a little bit about here. You know, you dabble in MMA. Big news over the last weekend. Jon Jones, it was revealed that he tested positive for cocaine actually about a month before the fight. But that's, you know, shocking in itself to many, but the real news there is that basically nothing happened to him. He got, you know, no suspension, he got no, you know, the win stands, all that. He basically got a pass. What are your thoughts on that? You know, just no real...
I think it's horrible for the sport. I mean, no matter when he got caught doing it, it's still the same. You know, and I mean, I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, he's of course he's an addict and he needs help. But at the same time, you know, not only was I think it was the cocaine usage, you know, also when his testosterone levels real high. So I mean, that means that he was taking something else illegal.
Right.
You know, and that's just bad for the sport.
Well, as far as the reasoning for it, as far as the cocaine end goes, was that UFC follows the WADA testing, the World Anti-Doping Association, and under their rules, I forget the exact days, but within so many days of competition, it's considered in competition. He, since he was outside of that, it was considered outside of competition, and therefore recreational drugs don't count. So, so if you got busted for say steroids, you are in trouble. But if it had been coke, heroin, whatever, there's nothing they can do because that's considered out of competition and recreational drugs don't count. And basically they had said he actually shouldn't even been tested for cocaine because of the fact that it wasn't a stand. So what do you think about that? Is that something that they need to kind of revisit, especially in light of someone like, you know, I know it's boxing and different rules, but, you know, someone like Chavez smoking pot, you know, and gets, you know, fined hundreds of thousands of dollars and suspended for...
I mean, I think that realistically, I think that should mandate all combat sports. You shouldn't have one combat sport different from the other. When, I mean, basically, at the end of the day, it's still both of them are both combat sports, and they should all be under one umbrella.
Do you think, you know, even though Dana White's hands are kind of tied with what he can do just because of the rules, I mean, so you think there needs to be changes just because of the fact that there's already such a, you know, black eye in the sport with PEDs, you know, pretty rampant, you know, in both sports. So, you know, by kind of allowing it, you know, no matter what the rules are, it kind of really looks bad to the general public.
It looks bad to the organization. I mean, that's where it looks bad. It don't really make it look bad to the public. I mean, it looks horrible. I mean, you have a president of an organization that's allowing a guy to actually, you know, take cocaine and whatever else it is you take. I mean, just because they have a certain type of rule. But I mean, to me, I felt that, you know, at any point in time, you get busted with drugs in your system. First of all, it should have been a no contest. You know, I mean, just like it is in boxing. I mean, if you've been tampering with anything that comes up, I mean, that's what happens. You get no contest. But I mean, I guess they got their own set of rules, and that's what they're going by. So,
do you think cocaine, marijuana, and those kind of drugs should be treated the same as steroids or any other performance-enhancing drug?
I think that those drugs should probably be even worse because those are drugs that can kill you. You know,
but the performance-enhancing can kill the opponent.
Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. What I'm saying is this. Still, I mean, what I'm saying is this. A fighter on cocaine, don't get me wrong, it makes him think he's Superman. You know, so I mean, it still has the same effect. It probably still has some effect in cocaine, but it probably just don't give you that strength, that same type of strength that you would get from, you know, taking a steroid or something. But at the same time, I mean, a drug is a drug.
And then what do you think about a main event of a pay-per-view being allowed to go on when they knew that Jones had already failed a test, the main event guy?
I think it was bad, and I think that everybody was trying to hide it because of Jon Jones, who he is and his status. You know, I mean, he's like pretty much the face of UFC right now, so I mean, he gets a pass.
So ultimately, what do you think that they need to, all combat sports or the Nevada Athletic Commission needs to say everybody that competes in both sports needs to follow under a certain set of rules?
I mean, that's what I think. I don't think that they should have a different criteria for different sports. basically they're the same type of sport. I mean, both guys are getting hit. You know, and one just wears smaller gloves than the other one. So I mean, I don't think that mandate's giving you a pass.
Now, when you were fighting, you used to load up a lot on Cheez-Its the week before the fight, and you never got busted for that. Do you? Cheez-Its.
Yeah, I love them.
Yeah, so do you think that you're being a little hypocritical now, seeing that you were juicing the gills on Cheez-Its back then?
I was juicing back then.
On Cheez-Its you were, so. So you're being hypocritical now, you know, saying he should be punished when you got away with it.
Yeah, well, I ain't never known cheese to make nobody stronger or faster or anything else.
Hey, real quick, Dad,
it made me feel like Superman.
How rampant was it when you fought?
What?
I mean, did you know people doing a different era? But, you know, I think it was just kind of the start of that kind of stuff, you know, as far as the PEDs go.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, I don't think that back when I was fighting that, you know, PEDs were as prevalent as they are now. I mean, I'm sure there was somebody that was doing it, you know.
Back then they did a lot, like I know baseball players did speed and that kind of stuff that helped them.
I mean, I'm sure that they had, you know, steroids, the same type of thing. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, I even know of some, you know, that was probably fighting at the same time that was actually doing it, but of course everything got swept under the rug.
Well, the one thing we know is you weren't on steroids.
I know I couldn't be on steroids. I can't break an egg.